Hi guys, and welcome to the second update on the Panzerkamphwagen 4, or commonly Panzer 4. As
If you've only just sort of joined me now and missed the first part, you want to really actually know about this kit, I'd go back and watch the first part. It's an old kit, it's not great. Didn't have much success putting on the Scherzen plates. One thing I did sort of come to terms with this kit was the fact that over time it had warped. There was warpage in a lot of the sprues and things, so parts were kind of out of kilter, so nothing really kind of fitted perfect. So I went for a whole finish. The whole thing is slightly askew, or the easiest way to describe it, very slightly, but when it comes to fitting parts, it just made the part harder and harder to actually fit place, shall we say. So I decided not to go with the Scherzens for a finish. We have ended up with the vehicle like that. Okay. The grapes on that are Mr. 500. I'm just building up a bit of texture on the tracks, the tracks and the exhaust. I will also be using some on the spun of the strip down for painting first.
Okay, so here now she is. Here she is now, or no, she here is. Anyway, there it is, all ready for painting, stripped down and ready to go. Okay, just a quick rundown of what I have here. I have the two sprocket wheels, the two idlers. I've got 3 spare wheels, 3 spares, 2 go on the side and 1 at the back, and then we've got our 18 road wheels. I've got 2 helmets. If you remember, if you were watching the start of it, the last video, should I say, I beg your pardon, the build part of it, I put 3 helmets here at the back, but since then I decided I want to go for a decal back here, so I'm only going to go for 2 helmets. So I've slung off the edge of it there, so they'll kind of half cover the decal. I thought that would be kind of a nice-ish look. I've also got the MG34, the turret, as you saw, and I did that bit of texturing there for a bit of mud. Okay, on the side panels. Right. For holding the wheels, basically a bit of sprue, right? Works perfect for this. There we go. So I can cut that off, and I get 2 out of that. And you put your little bulldog clips and sticks. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Bulldog. There's not a bulldog clip. There's crocodile clips and sticks. These little things here. Okay. I still had one in use from the last time. All you have to do is just they'll grab that then for painting. So much easier, you can get in around it and all that. Much easier than sellotaping them to a bench or something, which I've seen some people doing, and then you're basically trying to turn it around and do it again. And do the I'll do the black parts by hand. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started with the painting. So what am I going to do? I was going to, well, I had planned to, shall we say, use hull red as the base for it, and a bit of hairspray, then go over with the main coats. But unfortunately, I am out of hull red, and the way things are at the moment in shops, that can't get in there to get hull red. And when I'm only buying one or two, I get them local. When I'm buying a bulk, I kind of get them online for obvious reasons, much cheaper. But anyway, I'm going now for option number 2. Option number 2 is I'm going to use this. I'm going to use red brown. That's the colour I use for my rust. Okay, so I'm going to use red brown. I'm going to basically use that as my undercoat. I'm not going to bother with it for the wheels, but I will do it for the turret and the main body of the tank. Okay, I'm going to give that as my undercoat, and like I said, I'll give it a couple of hairspray. Leave them dry, actually. Leave the brown dry overnight, at least overnight, and then give it the hairspray. And then I'll be going for the camouflage coat. Now, the last time I bought paints, I bought these, and apparently these are the new TAMIYA German colours. They're a better colour for the German. They're more closer, apparently. So this is XF88 dark yellow 2 and XF89 dark green 2. Okay, I'll be using both of those. We'll see how good they are for the camouflage scheme. So I go on ahead and I will get the base coat done with the brown on the turret, on the body of the tank, and like I said, it's my colour for rust, so it's also the colour that I will be painting the tracks with, so we can get a lot done in one go. Okay, so next time you see it, I'll have those done, then we'll come back and we'll probably get started with the rest of it. Okay, so I'm after giving it the dark red, or yeah, the dark red. No, it's red brown. Dark red. I'm after giving it a coat of red brown. Okay, it's just the main body of the tank and the turret, and I'm after giving them a glass coat to kind of protect it all. It actually kind of does look like a mix between rust primer and a bit of rust, all kind of mixed into one. So hopefully it'll work anyway. We're trying something new. As I said, I don't have the hull red paint. Anyway, next step, I'm going to use this. Okay, it's hairspray. It's cheap pound shop hairspray, just perfect for what I need. Okay. I won't need hairspray down this area here. I'll only be doing a bit of chipping up around the top. I'm not going to be doing that much. Okay, so light coats. Now, as you can see, it's actually quite wet, so we leave that dry. Apparently, you know, I've done it before, and dries reasonably fast. Maybe we don't want it too thick, but we don't want it too thin either. Okay, so I noticed a bit here already practically dry, and I don't. No, there we go. That is plenty, if not a little bit too much. Going to leave them dry, and then I'll start on the camouflage. I'll leave all the detail painting till I got the chipping done. So, like I said, for the camouflage, I'm going to use a base of this, which is TAMIYA's new Decals. It's XF88 dark yellow 2. Okay, dark yellow 2 XF88. I'm going to give it light, kind of a tigery stripes, except it won't be tiger stripes. There'll be,
in green, of XF89 dark green too. Okay, these are Tamiya's new colours for German armour, for World War II German armour. They've basically come along and decided, yep, these are the colours you have to use. So we'll give it a go. Let's see what it looks like. See, is it any much different than the dark yellow one? See what all the hype is. Some people said it's absolutely spot on, but you know, I'm not a rivet counter. I don't care whether it's spot on or not. This is the man who uses NATO green and everything. Like I said, I'm going to leave that dry in. When that's dry in, I'm going to give it a coat of the dark yellow too. I'll also do all the wheels. I'll give them a coat of the dark yellow, and I'll also, before I get back to you, I'll do the black, the rubber black on the wheels of the doohickeys there, the wheels, all the road wheels. Do the rubbers on them, on the wheels themselves, and then we'll come back. We'll have a look at that before I start with the green stripes. I'll spray on the green stripes then, and we'll carry on from there, and hopefully the chipping will go well. Okay, so I'm after giving the tank a coat of the XF88, the new dark yellow 2. Okay, I'm after giving the whole tank a coat of that. I have the turret done. Same again, just a plain coat. Excuse me now for covering over the camera. I've also done all the wheels, right? And as you can see, I'm after doing the rubbers on the wheels as well. Okay. There's the rubbers and the wheels are done. A couple of other little bits I'm after doing the spare wheels with the drive sprockets, as you see. I'm after giving them a bit of silver. Okay. And don't ever worry when you're doing silver on these, you say to yourself, God, it's going to be too bright and all that. You're going to, remember, later on you're going to do weathering over that, and you're also going to give it a dull coat. So that'll kind of dull it all down. So get it right at the start, and as you weather it down, it tends not to be so harsh, and you can get the full effect from it. I'm also after doing the helmets. Okay. Now, because it was only the two helmets, I didn't bother with the airbrushing those. I used a hairy stick getting them done. German grey for the helmets. Oh, I'm also after doing the MG34. Okay. My hands might look a bit moist. There is, I'm after just after giving my airbrush a good cleaning. Okay, something we should all do every now and then. Okay, so there's the MG34. What I did with that was I painted it flat black. Whee! Give it a wash of, I made a wash down with this actually. Okay, X23 clear blue. Okay, I said I'd give it a try. So I used a bit of that and a bit of UMP thinners. Made a little bit of a wash, literally just a tiny little bit. There was enough then to do that. So that kind of gives the gun a kind of a bluish effect, and then give it a kind of a dry brushing to a certain degree with burnt iron. And I'm after ending up with quite nice. Really happy with them. They did MG34. Okay. So I'm ready now to do the blue. Oh, I've also done the tracks. Now with the tracks, what I did was I gave them, if you remember, I already painted them with the what was it, red brown. Then I give them a dry brushing. This is after getting their dry brushing with dark iron. Okay, kind of highlights some parts and things like that, right? And the next step then would be to give them a dry brushing with silver. Okay, Now, and doing all these typical name gone out of my head. I forget what they really were called. Boom, 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 boom. Track guides, little track pins, guy thingy-majiggies down the centre. I'm after making them silver. This has got to get a black wash yet, and like I said, a dull coat, and that will kind of tone everything back a bit. So that's what they're going to kind of. They're in the process of getting that done. I have one done with the silver now. I've got to do one more. So now I'm going to do with the XF89 dark green 2. After getting a bit of overspray from the XF88. Okay, and I'm going to do the camouflage pattern on it. No, I'm thinking of doing a nice thinnish stripe. Let's hope it all works out. We'll give it a go. We'll come back and we'll have a quick look at that then when that's done, and then we'll start with the removal of paint and the hairbrush, the hairspray method of chipping, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, now the green is done. Okay, as you can see there, we stick the turret on just to show that most of those curves and things match up. Right. No, I'm happy with that. I like the lines. I like the little bits of overspray that you can see in them. Okay. Doing these things were all field applied. They arrived basically in the Decals colour, and they were handed tins of brown and green paint, or just green paint. Some of them had compressors and paint brushes, airbrushes. Some just had paint brushes. So they weren't all basically super perfect. Okay, and when you go looking for super perfect, you're not going to find it. But I'm happy with that. That's quite enough, and those colours actually look very, very nice indeed. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get all the detail painting done on it. I know I said I wasn't going to. I said I was going to kind of leave that until the hairspray chipping. Although I'm still in two minds. Whether to get all the detail painting done or not. Do you know what I want? I'll do the hairspray chipping first. We'll have a look at that then and see how it's chipped, and then we'll go and do the detail painting. Because what we'll do is, once we get the hairspray chipping done, I'll give it a coat of gloss that'll seal in anymore, so no more will chip off, and then I can go ahead then with the detail painting on it. Right? So I'm going to leave that dry for another little bit. Okay, TAMIYA paints, they dry very, very fast. So I'm going to leave that dry for a little bit, and then I'll go ahead with the removal of paints. Now, I'm not going to show you bit by bit how to do the hairspray chipping technique. Basically, you've seen what I've done up until this. You've painted your base coat. In this case, it was I used red brown. Okay, gave it a coat of gloss to seal that in. Make sure it stays in a good coat of gloss. Leave it overnight at least. A light coat of hairspray. A wet coat, not too much. You don't want too much of it. When that dries, then you can do your like with this case now. I'm using two colours, but if you're just using one colour, just use the one colour, and then go in with a paintbrush and some water, plain water. You don't need anything else. You don't need any additives to the water or anything like that. Start in a little area and do it bit by bit and move along. Now, one little thing that I have noticed that I it's an effect I kind of like. When you start doing it, when you start to see it coming away, stop then and there. When you see the paint starting to move, that's when you stop. Use a bit of tissue
and pat it, and it kind of lifts paint in little bits. And what it does is it really looks like the paint is actually kind of lifting away. That's one way of affecting it. When you go into the edges, be kind of rough enough on the edges with your brush, and you can get nice effects there on all the hard edges and things where paint would chip off. And there's loads of hard edges on these, especially these little Panzer4s. It's all kind of squareness, not so much roundy. Okay, so I'll go ahead, I'll get the bit of chipping done, we'll come back, we'll have a look at it, and then we'll do the detail painting. Okay. Right, so I'll just adjust the light a little bit better there. There we go. There's the chipping done with the hairspray method. I didn't want too much off. I'm very, very happy with what is off. If you take a close look, you can see how good that actually does it. Okay. Very realistic. Okay. Right. Right. And basically the same again then on the turret, right? Not too much chipping, too much can be a bit can be distracting. It can also sort of, take away from any bit of realism that's there. It's not an abandoned tank, it's one that's still being used. Right? So there we go, right? There's our chipping done. Next step for this now, I was going to give it a gloss coat to kind of seal everything in, but I'll wait until I've the detail painting done on that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get the detail painting done on the tank, right, on the body of the tank and the turret of the tank. We've got tracks and a few other little bits and pieces to be done on that. I'm also going to make up a little bit of an enamel wash, because I want to get the wheels, I want to give them a wash, just to kind of darken them up and things, highlight some areas and stuff. So I'll use a sort of a black enamel wash on them. And the reason I want to do it now is, if you look at the way I have them, right, like that, they're all nice and flat. So therefore when I put the wash on them, there we go, we'll drag it out. Okay. So when I put the wash on them, it's not going to, flow down to the bottom sections and things. It's going to stay pretty even. So therefore any bit of weathering will look even rather than sort of only just at the bottom. Sometimes you get that when you're putting on a wash. What happens is it kind of collects in the bottoms, and you end up with a soggy bottom. You end up with all the stuff sort of down along the bottom, which doesn't look right, especially with wheels, because wheels turn around. It's okay, say on a vehicle, yeah, it will go down, it'll rest in certain places, but not on a wheel, because wheels, they rotate, and they'll kind of, they dirty up pretty evenly, shall we say. They don't kind of have a top and a bottom to them. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and get all them little bits and pieces done, like I said, and we'll get back to you, and we'll see what that looks like then after that. Okie dokie. Okay, so there she is now after getting the detail painting done, and I'm also after giving it its first coat of wash. I'm after giving it a black enamel wash. Usually my first black enamel wash is a very, very light wash. I make it down very, very light, more say thinner than black paint, so it's a very light wash. We can give a close look up at that. Okay.
I'll try and get the light to show more than of what it looks like rather than shine. Okay, really happy with how this is coming out, I must say. For a kit that I didn't actually enjoy the build of, I'm really enjoying this painting of it. Okay, it's coming out very nice. Very happy with the results I'm getting with this so far. Okay, as you can see there, the results from the putting on that Mr. Surfacer there at an early stage. You can see where it's kind of starting to look like caked mud. That's got to get more washes and things, so that's going to kind of bring that out a bit more. Same with the tracks, they need a bit more work there on those. I'm after adding in the spare wheels now, right front and back. Again, like I said, the rust just needs a bit more work to be done on that. Not 100% happy with the colours in that yet, but I'm getting there. It's getting there, and really, shall we say, really chuffed with the progress on this. It is really coming out nice. Next step for this now is to give it a gloss coat. A gloss coat, and then the decals, and then another gloss coat over the decals. That beds in the decals then, and then when you dull coat that, the decals tend to blend in quite nicely. They don't have that kind of a shine off them, then they look part of it. They actually look painted on. Sometimes they come out very well, sometimes not too well, but hopefully this time they'll come out good, because everything else is coming out absolutely perfect. Really enjoying this. So, as I said, next step for this now is to give it a gloss coat, and decals, and then continue on with more weathering. Really, it's about the only thing I can do. I also did a gloss wash. Nearly forgetting how to speak. I also did a wash on the wheels. Okay, and see what I mean about them now, by having them, giving them a wash in the upright position where they're kind of level. The wash, there we go, the wash comes out nice and even all the way through. Okay, it really looks good. I did the same on the idlers. Again, that wash, when you do it flat, it just comes up much nicer than, say, giving it a wash with the wheels on it. It never seems to kind of go even. But give it the chance, and everything works out nice. If you take your time. Okay, getting there slowly but surely. I do have the two helmets to add on to the back of the turret basket. Like I said, I want a decal up there, so that's why I haven't put the helmets on yet, because I want the helmets to go on then, half covering the decal, just to make it look a bit more realistic, shall we say, rather than trying to fit the decals in around. Okay, so next step for this, like I said, is to gloss coat, then the decals, and then another gloss coat. Wait for all that to dry, and then it's time for more weathering. Okay, so I'll get back to you when I've got the decals on. We'll see what all that looks like, and we'll see where we go to from there. Okay, so I'm after giving it its gloss coat. As you know, the reason I'm going through all this again basically is I did the clip after I put on the decals and gave it a gloss coat. Then I went on and I started doing some more weathering and stuff.
Went back in then later on and checked the clip, and the clip didn't record properly. The sound was all over the shop and it started you know what I mean. We've all been there. So anyway, the decals are on, okay. Now there's only, what was it, 4 decals. I had a German cross at that side, which after it was dried and set in, I noticed that it's at a slight angle, so I'm after fucking up on that one. We are putting the Death's Head there on that side. We have another Balkan cross, and we have one here at the back. The weathering I did then was I just gave it another wash, another black wash, more of a pin wash this time. Went in around all the panel lines and all that, made them stick out much better. Okay. I did all the little rivets and all that. Made the this underside here oily and all that kind of stuff. Okay, it was just literally just using black washes, simple as that. I just darkened up the wash, put stronger pits at the bottom. You know, that's all I did with that. Made it look nice and greasy and grimy. Oh yeah, I did actually use one other thing. I used a little bit of this stuff here, engine grime. Okay, it's engine oil and fuel oil from MIG. Normally I don't like it because it's kind of greyish in colour, as you can see here. It's kind of a greyish in colour, but it worked well for down there anyway. The pin wash came out absolutely perfect in that. Really happy with that. Okay. So, next step now for this is to give it a dull coat. Alright, dull coat, I use that. XF86 flat clear from TAMIYA. I also have all the wheels to add on. I have the 2 German helmets to go on here onto the back of that. Put on the tracks, and that should be it. It should be finished at that, I think. So the next time you see it, it'll be finished. It'll be all done. So we'll have a look at it at that stage. That'll be the final reveal, and we'll see how it all came out, how it all kind of mingles together. So I will see you in just a sec for the final reveal of the TAMIYA's 1/35 scale Panzerkamphwagen 4 Ausf H completed. Ta-da! And there she is, lads, the final reveal of the TAMIYA Panzer 4. Okay, it's the Ausf H. The kit originally comes with side skirts there, you know, the Scherzen, and the armour plate around the turret, but due to warpage, I'll only call it warpage, because it's a very old kit and it probably had been stored. I mean, I know I stored it in a kind of a warmish place. I should have copped it, and I don't know how they were stored before that, but you know, age anyway will slowly warp those plastic kits. Now, for some weird reason, it is coming up pretty dark there on the video. It's not as dark as that. Maybe if I kind of play around with lights here. I've been playing around now for the last 10 minutes trying to get it as good as I can get it. But you know, really happy with how it came out. Just take all this stuff away, just slide that over to the side. We can have a look at it then, and we can have a look at the top of it. Okay. Now, as you see there, it is not as dark as it was showing earlier on, but it is quite dirtied. Very happy, very happy with how it came out. Really chuffed with how it came out actually. I have an old bass here just beside me, so if you excuse all the shuffling and the noise and God knows what else.
I'll just stick it onto a little base. This is the base that you probably remember. I've used it on many a vehicle. Last time I used it was on the I used it on the Mark IV, the British Mark IV. I used it on that, the World War I tank. So we'll have a quick look at that. On that, okay. Again, nothing seems to want to work with me today. Really don't. So I'm gonna have to just hold it here. I know it's a bit shaky, a bit wobbly. I do apologise for that. There we go. I'm actually getting the proper colours on it now. Right. Maybe the white background was just that bit too much for it. As you can see, it came out. I'm really chuffed with how it came out. Nothing more I can say about it. The build wasn't all that good. A lot of minor fit issues with it. Be it due to age or be it just the kit itself. Some people said it was the kit itself that it is no longer available, that kit. They've unlike a lot of their older kits, you can still kind of get them. They just changed the box, added one or two extra little bits, probably changed the sprue here and there. But this actual kit was a total redo. Okay, they've totally redone the whole kit. But yeah, it just goes to show you, with a bit of painting and a bit of weathering and things like that, you can end up with a nice kit, nice finished product, even from a kit that isn't all that great. Now, it's not the worst kit I've ever made, I must admit. It is the worst TAMIYA kit I've ever made, but it's not the worst kit that I have ever made. So I'm going to leave you with that, lads. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you enjoyed the build, hope you liked the finished product. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. Be interesting to hear what you think of it. Like I said, I am really happy with how it came out. As you see, I kind of stuck a helmet over the wonky decal, and it kind of just takes from it and it makes it not noticeable that it's wonky. Really cool. So little things like that can make a bad thing good. So I'm going to leave it at that, lads. I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned to the channel. It'll be an unboxing and then the usual build. I'm going to stick with German World War II vehicles for a while. I have a number there of vehicles that I have to build. I know I have a Tiger, I have an 88, I have a Stug. I think I have a West, but I'm not sure. I have a Hummel, I think, or something like that. I'm not sure. And I have a Flak Verving truck thing. Something similar to the one I did recently. The AMG kit, but I think the one I have now is it's either an Italieri. But I'll decide what I'm going to do next. I'm actually thinking of doing the Tiger next. Wow, Tiger! I love Tigers. My favourite vehicle is a Tiger, and it's one of the early ones. It's the early Tiger. So I'm if it is the one I'm going to do it in the German grey. And we'll see. Stay tuned to the channel. Look for the unboxing. You can see what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, lads. Like I said, for about the 5th time. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe. In the meantime, go and buy yourself a kit. Build it and enjoy it. And don't mind my dirty finger. That's just a bit of black wash. Because I just literally finished it before I started this. Okay, lads. See you soon. Take care. Bye.